Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1, Unit 1.5 Notes. Today our learning target is to be able to solve equations involving two or more variables. Now, the directions get to solve the following equations. Highlight the variable you are solving for if necessary. Now, the key thing to remember is when we're solving problems like this is that we are still following the rules of SADMAP. Okay? So don't forget about SADMAP. Okay. So let's go through and look at these problems one at a time. I'm going to draw the line down the middle. And now the directions say to solve for r. So there's r. I want to get it all by itself. Except there's an s there. Okay, now just follow the rules of SADMAP. Well, I see subtraction. Well, to get rid of it, I'm going to add an s to both sides. The s's cancel out. And we're left with r is going to be all by itself. And we have r equaling, and we're going to put this in alphabetic order. Okay? So we have m plus s. Okay? Not too bad. Let's look at the next one. Okay? We want to solve for b. So on the same side of b is a. Well, what type of a is it? It's a positive a. And so what we need to do is subtract a to both sides. Well, the a's cancel, and the b is going to be all by itself again. So we have b equaling. Now we said alphabetical order. So what type of a is that? Well, it's a negative a. But what type of c is there? There's no sign in front of it. Well, if there's no sign in front of it, it's positive. And that's where we get b equals negative a plus c. Now let's try a different one. It says solve for y. So there's the y, but what operation is going on? Well, remember, if everything's all next to each other, it's multiplication. Well, how do we get rid of multiplication? Well, you get rid of multiplication with division. So you would divide 3x to both sides. Well, my 3's cancel, my x cancels, and now all by itself is y. And what does y equal? Well, y equals w over 3x. Now, here's an example real quick. Let's say if we had y equaling 12w over 3x. We would actually have to reduce that because the 12 and the 3. What's 12 divided by 3? Well, we would have 4w over x. Okay, and the same goes true if we had those numbers switched. 3w over 12x, we would still want to reduce that. And when we reduce it, it would be 1w over 4x. Okay? So always check to see if you can reduce and what that would actually look like. Okay? All right. Number 4. I want you guys to pause the video and see if you can do 4 all by itself. It says to solve for x, and there's your x. So go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so you should get x equaling negative y plus 5. Remember that y comes first because it's a variable. That's what we learned before. Standard form variable comes first. And it's a negative y right there. And that 5 is positive. Okay, number 5. Number 5 says solve for r. There's r right there, okay? And this is just like our example before where all of these are multiplying, and to get rid of multiplication, we divide. So what you divide one side, you have to divide the other side by. So the 2's cancel, the pi cancels, and we're left with, oops, let's get the highlighter, r equals, and remember the a is on top, and the 2 pi is on the bottom. This type of math I love because really all you're doing is moving things around, okay? That's it. There's no real hard, complicated steps that we're doing, okay? Even when it looks really complicated right there, it says solve for h, there's my h. All we got to do is keep track of the information, okay? Everything's being multiplied, and to get rid of multiplication, we divide. So I'm going to divide both sides there. What I divide one side by, I have to divide the other by. Those all cancel. And now the h is all by itself. And what it equals is the v over pi r squared. Not too bad, is it? Now, of course, those aren't going to be the easiest problems. There are going to be some harder ones. But it's the same thing. Keep track of your information, okay? And remember that we're following the rules of SADMAP. So solving for m, there's my m. We have, right there I see multiplication. Oh. And right here we have addition. Okay, so step by step, we're going to get rid of, or get the m all by itself. All right, so we have to get rid of addition first. Okay, those cancel, and we still have the negative 4m equaling, we combine those, 10 minus 2 is 8. Okay, and now we're just left with multiplication, and to get rid of multiplication, we use division. The negatives 4 cancel, and now we've got our answer of m equaling 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2, and the variable's still there, so negative 2n. Okay, let's actually, let's make that look like an n. There we go. Okay, let's do another example. Solve for y. So there's my y. What I see right here is we have subtraction, that's a negative 8x, and then we have multiplication. You're like, Mr. Grice, I didn't see that. Okay, well, let's rewrite it, because when you rewrite it, you got a positive 3y minus 8x equaling 15x. Do you see it now? Okay, anyways, we want to get rid of subtraction first. So you get rid of subtraction by the inverse operation. The inverse of subtraction is addition. And now we're left with 3y equaling 23x. Now, is the y by itself yet? I don't think so. Okay, so to get rid of multiplication, we use division. Those cancel, and now the y is all by itself, and we're left with 20. Does 23 over 3 reduce? Nope, it doesn't. So we're left with 23 over 3x. And that is your final answer. Okay. Number 9. Solve for y. why don't you guys pause the video and see if you can do this one all by yourself. Good luck. Okay, there you go. For this one, you only had one step. You had to subtract the 9x. You couldn't combine those because those are different. Remember, if it's not the same variable in the same exponent, they're not like terms, okay? So the negative 9x comes out front, and then that is a positive 8. Okay, number 10. We got a couple more steps this time, just like the one above it. So we have to solve for y. There's my y. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to get rid of the 3x. Get rid of the 3x. And we're left with 4y equaling 3x minus 12. Okay, now to get the y by itself, we have to divide everything. You hear that? Everything on the other side by 4. Okay? And now when we're done, we're going to get our answer. But we have to be careful. Because y equals, does 3 over 4 reduce? No. So 3 over 4x minus, what's 12 divided by 4? Well, 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, we just have to keep track of all of the information. Okay, be careful not to lose anything, like our signs. Okay, so we need to solve for y. So to solve for y, the first thing we need to do is to get rid of the x. So we're going to add the 5x to both sides. The x's cancel. And we're left with negative 7y equaling 5x minus 21. Okay, to get the y by itself, we have to divide. And we have to divide every term on the other side. And we're dividing it by a negative 7. Okay, don't forget about that negative sign. Okay, so let's get our final answer. The y is all by itself, and that's a negative 5 over 7 because it cannot reduce. Negative 5 over 7x. And then we have negative 21 divided by negative 7. And that will give us a positive 3. All right, last one, number 12. I want you to do it all by yourself. Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and when you're all done, you should get y equals 1/3 x minus 3. Might be like, yo, Mr. Grice, how did you get that? Well, negative 2 over negative 6, a negative divided by negative is a positive, and you can divide both the top and the bottom by 2. And that's how we get positive 1/3. Okay? And 18 divided by negative 6 gives us a negative 3. Okay, so you have to watch your signs. All right? Okie dokie. Your homework is on the back side of this, which is 1.5 practice. And if you need any help, you need to go to the Math Resource Center during your lunch or come find Ms. Carranza or myself during one of your free periods. Okay? Well, that's it for Algebra 1 Unit 1.5 notes. Thanks for watching.